I got a little one-day clearing job here. So, person had a whole bunch of stumps cut down from one of my buddies, and hired us to come in and clean it all up, pull the stumps, rake everything up, clean it all out. And guy's got a couple big dogs. He just wants to eventually fence the area off and just make this maintainable. He's not going to turn it into lawn or anything. So we're just kind of going to pull all the stumps first, and then I'm going to go through. You guys haven't seen yet, but we bought it's over there, a 5-foot root rake, 5 tines, custom made from Rockland Manufacturing. So I'll go pull all the stumps and then go through and rake everything up after. So I'm gonna start with all the big stumps. I can pull some of them with the root rake, but I'll tell you what, once you start pulling stumps with a rimper like this, it goes so much faster than the bucket. So go through, pop everything out first, and yeah, I'll keep checking in with you on this one. But you know, here's a I don't know, 12-inch maple here, probably. Oh. Probably the hardest stumps to pull in our area. Usually have a really big tap root. There we go. I do like on the ripper too, it kind of, usually it splits the stumps, which is great when I have to load them out, because the more they're split up, the more you can fit in a truck. But there's one that comes out a little easier. So here the customer's on a little bit of a budget, and he's got a lot of land here. So he wants us to just dig a hole, bury them, which is not what we normally do, but I understand. Getting rid of them around here is get very expensive. So help him out with his budget. We're gonna bury it, generate some fill, use that to kind of level out the area. Checking in. Alright, we are flying through this. Got everything cleared up to here, went up this whole side. So pretty much like this tree right here is his property line. So kind of show you a little, here's a pine stump. Kind of show you the difference. It's about the same size as that other one I was trying to get out earlier. And that is why all the pine trees fall over in the winter around here in our ice storms. So they are not nearly as strong. So here's another one. See, most people would think it's bad that it splits apart, but on our normal jobs, it's awesome. Like I said, you can fit more in a truck. And around here, all stumps to dispose of or get picked up are charged by the truckload. So the more you can fit in a truck, the better off you are. Kind of weaving my way through the trees. It's nice. My tree cutter buddy limbed everything up. Not for me, but that's what the homeowner wanted. Makes it easy for me. I don't have to brush the boom up against everything. It's kind of nice, these the Engcon Ripper. See how it's just not a single shank, it's got those flanges on the back. It makes it a little easier for pulling stumps because the flanges help grab. And it also works really well for prying, so as you go down like that, it's something to use to pry up. So just popping everything out, then we'll go through with the rake and kind of clean it all up. There's really not that many stumps left here. One over here. This looks like an oak. Came out easier. Just go check over here. That might be it. Throw on the rake. Clean it all up. Got the grade beam with the tilt rotator. Grade beam it all off, and might be all set. Alright, so here's the root rake from Rockland Manufacturing. Pretty cool. Custom made, 5 tines. It'll fit both this machine and our John Deere. I really like it. This is literally the first job I've used it on, and it's working pretty darn good. It definitely keeps a lot of the dirt out of it when you're kind of raking up the woods that you normally get with using a bucket. And you can scoop stuff up with it and move it, which is nice because the dirt also falls out. So I mean, I've already done a lot here. We've got that all piled up. Already done a little bit over on that section, just working on moving everything out, get up this whole side. So, pretty impressed with this. It's about 5 feet wide, which is nice as well, so you can cover a lot of ground pretty quick with it. Pretty happy with the build quality. I can pull stumps with it as well. Nothing too crazy, like you don't want to really use the corner of it, just because put a lot of pressure, just because it's so wide, put a lot of pressure on your quick hitch. But pretty much anything, depends on the tree stump, but up to like a foot in diameter should be able to pop right out with this. Works better for moving the grubbings than a bucket because it doesn't have sides. So a lot of this stuff, you know, is weird shaped and doesn't kind of fit in a bucket. So it's more like just getting it under, or getting the attachment under the material and picking it up. So finding it works pretty good. So I'm just gonna keep working everything back. Back into a big pile. Well, this thing works pretty sweet. Gotten everything cleaned up there. Got it piled in these 2 piles. All cleaned up here. Like most of the things and attachments, the Engcon and all the attachments we have with that. Probably should have bought one of these a while ago for all the clearing jobs we do and yard makeover jobs we do. But you know what? Can't always afford everything all at once, so gotta chip away at it. I am super happy with this. I mean, just grabs everything. Alright, if you followed me for long enough, you know I always get phone calls while I'm trying to make videos. It just happens. But you can kind of just see how it just breaks everything up. I'm gonna be super careful here. There's trees everywhere. Plan is to, the guy it's not going to be lawn area here, so he just wants it maintainable, cleaned up for his dogs to run around. So the plan is to just run over this whole thing with the grade beam, smooth everything off, and that's it. So this can go on the Tiltrotator, but I don't know, I probably will very rarely do that. Raking and clearing stuff is not the Tiltrotator's game. It's an expensive part to be, expensive attachment to be thrown around. Stumps and brush and everything else. got everything cleared. Starting to dig the hole. And to be honest with you, it's actually pretty good. My buddy who did the tree cutting didn't really leave any waste. So it's literally, and there really weren't that many stumps. It's really just like forest mat and a little bit of underbrush. So I actually think this guy's gonna be not bad off for burying everything, because I'd be completely honest with him, tell him it's gonna settle over time. I mean, you don't want to put a fence over it, you don't want to put a shed over this, you don't want to put anything, you just want to leave it green space. So, as it will settle, wood breaks down, turns into topsoil or loam, basically just into organic material over time, and it settles. So that's why you really shouldn't bury brush or stumps. But sometimes you gotta do it. Like I said, I really don't think this is gonna be bad at all for him, so probably make out pretty well with it. But yep, nothing too exciting, just gonna dig a big hole here. And he also wants some fill used kind of out closer to the house, so this will generate some fill for him, so it's kind of a win-win situation all around. Alright, so we're filling in the hole. Might have lied about putting the rake on the Tiltrotator earlier. Just literally, it's hard to explain unless you have one. Just everything is made easier when you have the Tiltrotator. I don't think I'd pull stuff with it, but cleaning all this material up, reaching around these trees, I mean, look. Can you do that with anything else? I mean, I'm just pushing wood chips, so it's not hurting the machine or anything. But it just saves you from repositioning. You obviously got to be careful with it, because things can pop up, but just makes life easier. It was pretty sweet. I was picking out stumps, and then you can just kind of spin the rake around, and you can push stuff like this. Instead of having to reposition. So, like I said, unless you have one, probably don't understand, but that's alright. Try one out sometime if you can. I know at least Engcon does the demo day events. I've helped out with a couple, had a couple at my shop. Where you can come out and actually try out one of these Tiltrotators. So I don't know if any of the other brands do, but I know Engcon does, but they're really the ones I pay attention to, so the others might as well. You should reach out and find out. These Tiltrotators are pretty sweet. It's nice and smooth. Kind of working my way through the trees, back through this section. With the grade beam here. I absolutely love this attachment. It is my favorite attachment for the Engcon. It's 10 feet wide. Might not look like it in the video, but it is. Just clean things up very, very quickly. This would take a long time, even, I mean, I've got a 5-foot bucket. A 5-foot cleanup bucket. But in most cases, it would probably be quicker to bring a skid steer here, but not when you have this. On some jobs, yes, skid steer is still going to be quicker. All depends on the size. For something like this, there's no way. By the time I went, picked up my skid steer, brought it here, then I'd have to bring it back. Probably about the same time that it takes me to do this. Just trying to be careful working around the trees. It's nicely, it's got a pretty thin blade there, so it kind of cuts off the roots, but definitely it's 10 feet wide. If you catch something on the very end, it's not going to be good for the machine or the tiltrotator, so try and take it easy, be careful. All the roots, so the homeowner knows we'll just have to come through and cut them off with a pair of loppers. So yeah, going pretty well. All right, we are getting there. A little bit of a tight spot here between some trees, but homeowner just came out. He is pumped. Out better than he expected, which is always an awesome thing to hear. These are the projects I really like doing. I actually really like working for homeowners. You know, the stuff that we do for homeowners, it's like stuff like this, cleaning up a backyard expansion, regrading, stuff like that. Typically, these homeowners have saved up for a long time, and they've carefully, hopefully, chosen the contractor that they want to do the work. You get to be real creative, kind of just making it look good. There's no plans, there's no, typically the homeowner will just kind of tell you what they're looking for, and it's your job to figure it out and make their reality come true. It's also neat to get to the end of the job and they're really excited and happy. You get to talk with them and know that they're gonna enjoy it. So I love doing these jobs. A lot of guys don't for some reason. They think dealing with homeowners is difficult, but I don't know. To me, they're usually happy. They're usually overly happy. expectations, you know, it can be good projects for you. So stuff I really enjoy doing. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it. I'll try and grab, if I remember, a video when I'm done. But I mean, I'm literally in the back corner here, trying not to hit these trees. Looks pretty good. It's gonna have to just, like I said, go around with some loppers and cut off the roots. Normally I'd go deeper with pulling out roots, but just trying to save all these trees. I'm afraid, well, I think some of the roots that are left sticking out are, you know, to these trees. So I told them to just go around with a pair of cutters and cut them all off, and should be able to maintain this thing pretty easy. It's got some good topsoil. Should be able to throw down some, even some just like hay, grass seed mix, and should be in pretty good shape. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Looking good.